In the year 2025, somehow Hollywood has managed to make a legitimately hilarious comedy. Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So in the brand new Naked Gun, it's kind of a soft reboot or a remake of the old school TV series and movies involving Leslie Nielsen playing Lieutenant Frank Drebin. In this movie, it stars Liam Neeson playing Frank Drebin Jr., and I believe Seth MacFarlane has his hand in this project as well. These movies don't need a ton of structure, but it's going to follow Frank Drebin as he's trying to save the world in only his asinine way he can, and it's kind of like a gumshoe detective noir style film. Let me start off by saying there are no words for how excited I am and how happy I am leaving the theater after watching this movie, that we got a movie like this in 2025. My hopes were all but dead for comedies and me ever laughing again, to be honest, because I haven't seen a movie this funny in ages. We never get funny comedies anymore. We don't get satires. We don't get spoofs. We don't get unapologetically stupid comedies like this movie that are just committed to the bit. This movie is by no means a serious film. It is completely self-aware, but in the same time, if you've ever watched this series, it earns its stupidity. It feels like everything stupid in this series could actually happen, and it's something that feels like it fits this universe. It is so committed to making you laugh, unapologetic. It doesn't care how dumb the movie gets, and I miss when we got comedies like that. It took me back to the early 2000s, honestly. I haven't seen a movie this stupid in a decade. That's kind of sad. Let me start off by singing the praises of this film. This movie is less than 90 minutes long. I love the pacing of this movie. It is nonstop rapid fire jokes, just like the original. And I think this movie never goes more than 30 seconds without me having a smile on my face. I was consistently laughing. My theater was in an uproar. I feel like I missed jokes, to be honest. My theater was laughing so much so. I hardly ever laugh. I call myself a hard audience. I laughed plenty in this movie. And the major hurdle you have to get over when you're watching this film, if you are a fan of the original or you had expectations for this movie, is the fact that we no longer have Leslie Nielsen. We have Liam Neeson. I'm somebody who grew up with the Naked Gun films. I've seen Airplane a dozen times. I've seen Police Squad. I love those shows. I find them hilarious. I grew up with them. They were within my family. I love Leslie Nielsen's comedic relief. In my opinion, I think he is the funniest actor to have ever lived. His deadpan delivery, unmatchable. The bar is all the way at the ceiling, getting Liam Neeson to try to take over his role, because I don't think anybody, no matter how good he does in this movie, could ever stand up to the expectations of what he left us. But rest in peace, Leslie Nielsen. You are the greatest to ever do it. Can Liam Neeson hold a candle to you, though? And the answer to that is yes. I think Liam Neeson is great in this. It's kind of funny. He had that thing going on, kind of like Jason Statham's going on, where he keeps releasing the same formulaic action film over and over again after Taken. But even in those movies, he did have some great lines delivery, though. His deadpan comedic relief in his movies has always been present, just never abundant. So it's great to see him do this role, and I think he's fantastic, honestly. I think after watching this, nobody else besides him could probably step into the shoes of Leslie Nielsen. I think he's awesome. I think his delivery is great. I think he is perfectly cast as Frank Drebin Jr. I think he delivers these jokes great. The script benefits him because I think the script is very smart, unapologetically stupid, funny, and witty. So I had an absolute blast with this film from the moment it started. I knew from the opening scene of this it was going to be really good, because how they open this up with the plot device line, if you've seen the movie, you know, not going to spoil anything. I thought it completely captured the tone of the original, but what this movie does that I think is really cool, it stands on its own. I think Liam Neeson is great doing what he's doing, but it doesn't feel like it's a copy of the old school movie, if that makes sense. Because those movies definitely had a formula. They were tonally a certain way, and this movie is matching that tone. It feels like part of that universe, but it's also doing its own thing. And I really liked that, because sometimes when you have remakes, it's just rehashes trying to copy exactly. Not how I felt. I thought this movie was standing on its own while offering more of what you love from this franchise. You also have Pamela Anderson in this movie as his love interest, and I think she's really good as well. Again, she's not asked to do as much as him. This movie is always, in this franchise, has always been focused on Lieutenant Frank Drebin, but she's good as his love interest. I think she has some good comedic timing. I think she shows some emotion when required, and her body language and some of the joke setup she plays off of Liam Neeson really well. So I thought this acting entirely, and some of the cameos you get in this movie were unexpected, well done, and funny. The biggest compliment I can give this movie is, if you are a fan of this franchise, you love the Naked Guns, you love Airplane, you love that spoof style of humor like me. We don't get too much of it anymore. I think this movie fits right in seamlessly to what those movies are trying to do. Now, are they as good? That's up for interpretation. I think it is a highly effective, hilarious comedy personally. But what I mean is, if you're watching the Naked Gun movies or Airplane or any of the old Leslie Nielsen spoof things on a Sunday afternoon, I think you could seamlessly throw this movie into your marathon and really enjoy it. You wouldn't say, oh, that's the shitty sequel. This is a good one. This is a good entry. It's fun. It captures that vibe. So if you like that type of stuff, you're probably going to like this one, because it's giving you more of the same, just with a little bit of a different flavor. Really, if I have to say the biggest negative about this film, and it's almost unfair to the movie itself, I think the trailer is kind of the best parts of the film. That's not to say the rest of the movie isn't funny. I think this movie is funny entirely. I think this movie, as I said, never really goes more than 5 minutes without making me laugh out loud. But the trailer showed so many good bits. It might set an unrealistic standard to what you expect this movie to be, because I feel like that was just some of the best bits, but it's almost a positive in its own sense that it's a credit to this movie that those bits even got into the trailer because they're in the movie. So highly effective scenes. It's one of those things whenever you watch a comedy's trailer, you can get some of the best laughs given away. So when you see them in the movie, you just wish you could have got them organically without having them shown already. So you've never seen the trailer, this does not apply to you whatsoever. Overall, I'm going to keep this review very brief because I don't really think there's a whole lot of substance to talk about this movie, and say this: if you are somebody who has never seen this franchise, it is a very spoof heavy kind of on-running gag joke franchise just meant to make you laugh in the most ridiculous, stupid ways ever. You have people flying, hanging on to owls. You have nothing makes sense in these movies, but that's what makes them beautiful. And if you're completely lost on whether or not you think this could be a franchise for you, I recommend you check this one out because this one is really good as well. Maybe it's an entry point, a more modernized version of those old school ones we all love. And if you're coming here like me as a longtime fan who loved these movies back in the day and you're wondering, did Hollywood ruin it again? No, I think this was a great version of this film. I would love to see 10 more movies in this franchise. I think this is something that could really catch on if fans pick this up and we could really get more and more of this world, because it feels like they really understand the message here. But if you are one of those people who is a little bit worried that they will ruin something you love, don't be. I think this movie is highly effective. I thought it was hilarious, thought Liam Neeson was great, thought it captured the tone of the original while maintaining its own integrity, which I really enjoy instead of being a complete remake. Overall, I had a great time with this film. One of my favorite movie-going experiences so far this year. I was laughing nonstop. My stomach hurt at certain points. I thought it was highly effective. This is a movie I'm going to buy at some point. If you have seen the new Naked Gun, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Liam Neeson did good. Personally, I think he did really good. It's just he has impossible shoes to fill. As always, like, comment, subscribe, join the channel down below. I love talking movies with you, but I will see you in the next review. Peace.